Jayo Kunja Behari. Jayo Gopijana Vallabha. Jayo Giri Varadhari. Jayo Giri Varadhari. Jana Vallabha. Shodanandana Bhraja Jana Ranjana. Shodanandana Bhraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Behari. Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja. Jayo Gopijana Vallabha. Jayo Giri Varadhari. Jayo Giri Varadhari. Shodanandana Bhraja Jana Ranjana. Shodanandana Bhraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Behari. Yo Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Behari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. This morning we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Shlokas, Chapter 13, Shlokas 32 to 34. So since 34 is on the board, I'll first read 32 and 33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So 32. Jagana Arundhanam Asahya Vikramam Salilebhyam Mrigaradivambasi Tadrakta Pankan Kitaganda Tundo Yata Gajendro Jagatim Vibindan. Translation. Thereupon Lord Boar killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth. And 33. Tamalan hilam siddhadanta kotya kshmam utshipantam gajalilayanga pragyaya badanjalayon vakair virinchi mukya upatasasturisham. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspending the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. He assumed a bluish complexion like that of a tamala tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. And note 34 that is on the board. Jitham jitam te jitta yagya bhavana Traim tanum svam paridumvate namaham Yadroma garteshu nilil yur adayas Tasmai namakarana sukkarayate Rishaya uchum Jitam jitam te jitta yagya bhavana Traim tanum svam paridumvate namaha Yadroma garteshu nilil yur adayas Tasmai namakarana sukkarayate. Please chant. Swam parindumvate namaham. Namakarana sukkarayate. Namakarana sukkarayate. Tasmai Nakarana Sukaraya. Vaishnavis? Sayajum. Tejitayagabhaya. Word by word. Rishaya Ucho, the glorified sages uttered, Jitam, all glories, Jitam, all victories, Te, unto you, Ajita, O unconquerable one, Yagya Bhavana, one who is understood by performances of sacrifice, Traim, personified Vedas, Tanum, such a body, Swam, own, Paridumvate, shaking, Namaha, all obeisances, Yat, whose, Roma, hairs, Gartashu, in the holes, Nililyu, submerged, Adaya, the oceans, Tasmai, unto him, Namaha, offering obeisances, Karana Sukkaraya, unto the hog form assumed for reasons, Te, unto you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All the sages uttered with great respect, O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices, all glories and all victories unto you. You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas, and in the hair holes of your body the oceans are submerged. For certain reasons, to uplift the earth, you have now assumed the form of a boar. Purport. The Lord can assume any form He likes, and in all circumstances He is the cause of all causes. Since His form is transcendental, He is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as He is in the causal ocean in the form of Mahavishnu. Innumerable universes generate from the holes of His bodily hairs, and thus His transcendental body is the Vedas personified. He is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and He is the unconquerable Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is never to be misunderstood to be other than the Supreme Lord, because of His assuming the form of a boar to leave the earth. That is the clear understanding of sages and great personalities like Brahma and other residents of the higher planetary systems. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatharine. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gorat Vishe Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So we are here at the end of this third chapter, in which Lord Varahadev lifts the earth and at the same time kills the demon Hiranyaksha. At first glance, it looks like that this killing and lifting is happening at the same time. But Srila Vishnu Thakur, in purport to the 33rd verse, he explains that Maitreya actually he combined two different born incarnations in one story. So he's quoting Laghu Bhagavatamrita, where Rupa Goswami gives elaborate evidence and reasoning how actually these are two born incarnations that are described here. First one is Shvetavaraha, who is white in color and who appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma as described in this chapter, and he lifted the earth. By that time, he didn't kill Hiranyaksha because there was no Hiranyaksha at that time. And then the second born incarnation is Nilavaraha, who is bluish in color, who appeared in the water, lifted the earth, and then he killed Hiranyaksha. So both of these Varahadev incarnations, they appeared in the same day of Brahma, in the current day of Brahma where we are. But they appear in different manvantaras that are periods during the Lord Brahma's day. So what is the age of Lord Brahma? He just turned 51 years of his age. So we are in the first month and the first day after he turned 51. So day of Brahma is called Kalpa, and it is 4.32 billion years, which is quite long. So 30 such days of Kalpas of Brahma consist one Brahma's month. And each day of Brahma has different name. The current day of Brahma that we are in is called Brahma Kalpa or Shveta Varaha Kalpa because Lord Varahadev appeared in that. So each day is divided in 14 manvantaras, periods during which one Manu rules the earth, meaning whole Bhumandala. So 71 Divya Yogas constitute one manvantara. As we know, one Divya Yoga is 4,320,000 years. So 71 times this 4 million, around 300 million years, is one manvantara, the period during which one Manu rules the earth. So what is the present Manu that is ruling? Vaivasvata Manu, yes, correct. And his seventh Manu, he's the son of Vivasvan. We know Vivasvan from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita a long time, millions of years ago, to Vivasvan, Sangad. So 27 Divya Yogas of Vaivasvata Manu already passed. So not yet the half of his age. And we learn about the names of different 14 Manus in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Adi Lila. We learn there is a Swayambhuva, first one, Svarochisha, Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusha is the sixth one, Vaivasvata is the seventh, then Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudraputra or Rudra Savarni, Rauchya, Deva Savarni, and Bhautyaka or Indra Savarni. These are the 14 Manus. So Lord Varaha, he appeared twice in this day of Brahma. So first he appeared during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu, the first Manu. At that time, as we already said, he came out of the nostril of Lord Brahma, and then he raised the earth from lower regions of the universe. And he was dark in color, blue Nilavaraha. So another Lord Varaha, he appeared second time during the reign of Chakshusha Manu, which is 6th Manu, in 6th Manvantara. So at that time, while lifting the Bhumandala, he came out of the universal waters to kill Hiranyaksha, and that time he was white in color. That's why he's called Shveta Varaha. And Rupa Goswami, he describes that sometimes Lord Varahadev, he has 4 legs and hooves, But sometimes he's a half man, half a boar, like a Lord Nrsimhadev. So Rupa Goswami, he gives some proofs that in Lagubhagavatamrita that it was not the Nilavaraha who killed Hiranyaksha, but it was a Shvetavaraha who appeared in Chakrasha Manvantara. What is the reasoning there? Hiranyaksha was a son of Diti, who was daughter of Daksha. And Daksha, as we know, he was reborn again after he offended Lord Shiva. And then in the 4th canto, we find that he was reborn in the 6th or Chakrasha Manvantara. So in the first Manvantara, when Nilavaraha appeared, there was no Daksha, there was no Diti, there was no Hiranyaksha, and thus Lord Varaha could not kill Hiranyaksha at that time. So it has to be the second Shvetavaraha who killed him 5 Manvantaras later, which is approximately 1.5 billion years later. But here in Bhagavata Maitreya, being asked by Vidura, he narrated the activities of both appearances of Varaha in one story. He combined them in one story. So how was the earth flooded and sank on these 2 occasions? On both occasions, during the Nilavaraha appearance and Shvetavaraha appearance, the Bhumandala sank in the lower regions in the Garbhodaka ocean. As we know, Pralaya, the deluge of the lower regions of the universe, happens regularly at the end of each Manvantara, and of course at the end of Lord Brahma's day. But during the Lord Brahma's day, it happens regularly 14 times at the end of each Manvantara. But here in these 2 occasions, when Lord Varaha there appeared, it happened at the very beginning of Lord Brahma's day, in the morning, and then sometimes before the noon. 6th Manvantara is sometimes before the Lord Brahma's noon. So these were the irregular pralayas, destructions. Regarding the first pralaya, Rupa Goswami quotes the Matsya Purana, where it's mentioned that during Swayambhuva's period, the pralaya happened because of the curse of sage Agastya upon Swayambhuva. And then when the earth was lost in water, Nilavaraha Deva appeared and lifted her out. And the second pralaya that happened in 6th Chakrasha Manvantara, Chakrasha Manu was, according to some acharyas, was also cursed, but according to Vishnu Dharmottara scripture and other Puranas, that flood at that time happened just because of the Supreme Lord's will. So Lord desired to perform his pastimes, so he let the Bhumandala sink. Because by his will and by his power only Bhumandala is floating on the water. And all planets also are in the sky because of his will. If he desires, so they can all fall down. So that's why it was mentioned that there was a sudden deluge during the reign of Chakrasha Manu, and then the Lord had to come and save her. And then regarding, there are regular pralayas at the end of each pralaya, at the end of each Manvantara. And Rupa Goswami also describes that in Lagubhagavatamrita. He says that at that time the earth does not sink, doesn't sink at the bottom of the universe, but floats on the water, on the surface. You know, the waves of the water cover it, but it doesn't sink. So there is a quotation from Vishnu Dharmottara in Lagubhagavatamrita. And Rupa Goswami describes that the Supreme Lord assumes the form of water. So the Lord himself assumes the form of the water and covers the earth and subterranean planets. So he is wearing waves as his garlands, and he covers everything. So at that time, everything in Burloka is destroyed. It destroyed. Only what is not destroyed, principal mountains, starting with Himalayas, they are saved. They escape the destruction and remain visible. So the goddess Earth assumes the form at that time of the boat. The Mother Earth, she's a goddess. She's an expansion of Lakshmi Devi. So she is called Bhumi Devi, Prithvi, Vasundara, Jagadatri, so many names she has. She's a beautiful goddess, bluish complexion with the lotus-like eyes and all the auspicious bodily features. So at that time, Mother Earth, she assumes the form of the boat and carries the seeds of all species of life. And then the future Manu and 7 sages, Saptarishis, they all board the boat. Previous Manu has died, so the future Manu, he is not yet Manu, but he is the person who is supposed to become a Manu. He boards the boat, and 7 sages all together with the seeds of all species, they board that boat. And then Lord Vishnu, he assumes the form of a giant fish, Matsya, and he pulls the board, the boat with the rope that is tied to the horn on his head. So he pulls it and then he ties it to the peak of Himalaya mountain. And that time the deluge stops. The earth is completely cleansed and purified, and everybody disembarks the boat, and the new Satyayuga starts. And they start, the procreation. Manu starts creating the progeny with the help of the Saptarishis and giving them protection and all that is included in that. In the 4th canto, we have Mother Earth speaking to another incarnation of the Lord Maharaj Prithu in 17th chapter, 31st sloka of the 4th canto. She assumed the form of a cow because Maharaj Prithu became very angry with her and wanted to kill her. And then she speaks the following verse, I'm quoting it. My dear Lord, in this way you once protected me by rescuing me from the water, and consequently your name has been famous as Dharadhara, he who holds the planet Earth. Yet at the present moment, in the form of a great hero, you are about to kill me with the sharpened arrows. I am, however, just like a boat on the water, keeping everything afloat. So she is just like a boat on the water. She compares herself as a boat of water. So Lord activities here seems to be contradictory. First, he lifted the earth and saved her, and now he wants to kill her. What is the reason? Well, there was a good reason. There was a drought, and all the residents, all the inhabitants of the earth at that time, they were starving, and they came to King Prithu for protection. So he understood that Mother Earth, she was not delivering the seas, and that's why nothing was growing, and people had to starve. So he wanted to kill her, but then Goddess Earth, she explained to him that she was not giving crops because the people were using them just in the sense gratification without offering them in sacrifice. So she also had a good reason not to give the seeds and the crops. So that's why the Lord Prithu Maharaj, he changed his mind and didn't kill her, as we know. So Lord activities are not contradictory as it might seem to be, or haphazard. Whatever he does, he has a very good reason. So the Lord is also impartial. Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Samhita Krishna, Sindhu, that Krishna is sama, or impartial. What is the definition of the impartial? The learned say that the person who is free of attraction and disgust is called impartial. And then in a comment on this verse, Rupa Goswami comments, if your enemy does something correctly, you reward him, and if your son becomes spoiled, you punish him. You are the protector of all people and without prejudice. Thus partiality can never occur in your actions. And Jiva Goswami, he comments that favoritism of either party, which is called pakshapata, means to favor one party over the other without a good reason. So Lord never does this. The Lord does not see with the prejudice vision in the manner, this is my enemy and this is my son. So he sees with equal vision, because he sees differences only in terms of what is correct and what is wrong, not who is mine and who is not mine. So example of this we find in the third canto, again in the third chapter, entitled The Lord Pastimes Out of Vrindavana, where Uddhava describes, and he gives the following verse: Narakasura, the son of Dharitri, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. This led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narakasura, and thus the Lord entered the house of the demon. And Srila Prabhupada comments the purport. It is said in other Puranas that Narakasura was the son of Dharitri, the earth, by the Lord himself. But he became a demon due to the bad association of Bana, another demon. An atheist is called a demon, and it is a fact that even a person born of good parents can turn into a demon by bad association. So this is interesting. Even a person born of a good parents can turn into a demon. Even if the parents are devotees, we can become a demon by bad association. So birth is not always the criterion of goodness. Unless and until one is trained in the culture of good association, one cannot become good. And Jiva Goswami comments on this in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. How he became the son of the Lord during the Varaha pastimes is told in Kalika Purana. So this Kalika Purana, this is minor Upa Purana, named after goddess Durga. Since Jiva Goswami referenced it, I look at that story of Narakasura's birth. It's described there in this Kalika Purana that after Lord Varahadev, Nila Varahadev, killed Hiranyaksha, he sported with the Mother Earth, and as the result of that, Mother Earth conceived a child. But the time for conception, as described, was not auspicious because she was in her period. That's why she was unclean and muchi. And that's why demigods, when they understood that she was pregnant, they knew that the child born will not be auspicious because it was conceived in improper time. Same thing happened with Hiranyakashipu, if you remember. He was also conceived in proper time at dusk, and that's why he was born as a demon. So similarly, demigods knew this child is going to cause a trouble. So better stop this pregnancy. So they used their mystic power, and they didn't allow the birth to take place for long time, which is millions of years. And Goddess Earth, she suffered. She suffered very much because she felt the burden of the child in her womb. So she eventually approached Lord Vishnu and prayed for help in this difficult situation. And Lord blessed her and promised her that she will not feel pain anymore, but that she will deliver the child only after the Ravana is killed. So we have to understand that this Lord Varahadev killing Hiranyaksha happened in Satya Yuga, somewhere in the middle of Satya Yuga. And as we know, Lord Ramachandra, he appeared somewhere in the middle of Treta Yuga. So Goddess Earth, she had to wait for delivery with the child in the womb from middle of Satya to middle of Treta Yuga. And the reason was that Lord wanted first the burden of Ravana and his demoniac associates to be removed from earth so that another demon could appear. Because it was described that because of Ravana and his associates, the Bhumandala sank 64 yojanas in the water. So if the Naraka appeared at the same time, it would sink even further. So that's why first Ravana had to be removed, and then Naraka could be born. And then in this Kaliki Kalika Purana is described how King Janaka, whom we know as the mother of Sita, the wife of Lord Ramachandra, how he wanted children but couldn't have it. And then he heard that in the kingdom of Ayodhya, Maharaj Dasharath, he performed sacrifice and he got 4 illustrious sons by performing sacrifice. Rishishringa was the priest and other qualified brahmanas were there. So he decided also to perform a sacrifice in order to get sons. And as the result of his sacrifice, we know that he got 2 sons and 1 daughter. Who was the daughter? It was Mother Sita. But she was delivered. He found her actually in the sacrificial field on the ground. And it was goddess Earth who left her there. And then he informed the King Janaka that this daughter of yours, she'll be the cause of death for Ravana and other demons. So it's a very auspicious child. Take care of her very well. But at the same time, she said that my son also will be born after the Ravana is dead. And I want you to take care of him as well. And of course, Maharaj Janaka, he agreed to that agreement that because by blessings of Mother Bhumi, he got Sita, so he agreed also to take care of the son of Mother Bhumi, which will be born later. And as told by Mother Prithvi, it happened so. We know that Ravana was killed and the Sita and all this Ramayana pastime happened. And as soon as the Ramayana was killed, Narakasura was born to Prithvi Devi. And she left him in the sacrificial ground of Maharaj Janaka on the ground and disappeared. She informed him that the child is there, please go and look for him. So he went to the sacrificial ground and found a baby boy, very beautiful with lotus-like eyes, very strong. But somehow there was one inauspicious omen. He was lying with his head on a skull of a dead person. Somehow he was crawling over the sacrificial ground, and at one point he came to that skull and he was lying on that skull. So this was already bad omen. And due to this, Gautama, the family priest of Janaka Maharaj, he named him Naraka. So as he promised to Mother Prithvi, Janaka Maharaj, he took very well care of him, he raised him, he educated him in Kshatriya Dharma. And Mother Prithvi, she disguised herself as the nurse of Maharaj Janaka. And actually she raised her own son disguised as the human nurse. She assumed the human form of a nurse, and she was taking care of him. And she tried her best to give him a good education in terms of invoking good qualities in him. Because she was warned by Lord Vishnu that he will protect her child as long as he doesn't act against the Brahmanas, as long as he doesn't become demoniac. But also he promised to her, I will not kill him without your permission. So that's why she tried her best to educate him well and to give him good education so that he could be charitably disposed toward the Brahmanas and pious. And Maharaj Janaka, he was educating him in the Kshatriya Dharma, in military art. So at one day when he was almost 16, he observed when the Naraka and his other sons were competing in some games, he observed how Naraka was superior in strength and intelligence and everything. And he became depressed because he thought, well, this son of earth, he's going, to defeat all my sons and take all the kingdom. My sons will be just kicked out. So the queen, he observed the moroseness of Maharaj Janaka, and she asked him about that. But he promised to Mother Earth not to tell what is the reason, so he didn't tell. But Goddess Earth, she understood that it's a time to take her son back. So she came to Maharaj Janaka and told him, I will take my son back. And she did exactly that, actually. It's a long story, I need to make it short. So she took him to the Ganga. She assumed her real form and explained to him his origins and his birth. And Naraka accepted. Then she invoked Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu blessed him and took him to the city of Pragjyotishpur. This is modern city of Guwahati, which is located in Assam, northeast state of India. At that time, there are some Kiratas were ruling. So, with the help of Lord Vishnu, Narakasura, he killed all these demoniac tribes and established the city populated by Brahmanas, where the sacrifices were performed, and city became very, very opulent. So he ruled that city for very, very long time, basically from middle of Treta Yuga till the end of Dvapara Yuga. But at one point, he made a mistake. He started to associate with another king very closely, very intimately. Who was that other king? It was King Bana, who had very asuric demoniac nature. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. It's described also in the Bhagavatam that he had thousands of hands, and he was so puffed up that he didn't find anybody to fight with. So he asked Lord Shiva, please find somebody who is equal to me that I can fight with him. So Naraka had some sadhu sangha or asat sangha actually with this Banasura. They visited each other very often. They opened their minds to each other. They took prasadam together or whatever they ate. So they had very intimate association. And due to this association, Naraka, who had actually good heart and he was a pious person, the son of the Lord himself, he became corrupted. He lost all the taste for charity. He lost the respect for Brahmanas. He stopped doing the worship in the temple. In that his city, there is an ancient temple, even still today in Guwahati, this temple exists of goddess Kamakhya, which is Mother Durga, which is very ancient temple. So Naraka stopped doing all these dharmic and pious activities. And then at one point, he offended a Brahmana. It was Vasishta, great sage, who came to have a darshan of Mother Kamakhya, and the Narakasura being puffed up, he stopped him from entering. He verbally assaulted him and offended him. At that time, Vasishta, he cursed him. He said, you're finished, basically. And after the curse, Naraka could observe inauspicious omens in his city. The Brahmanas left, the yagya stopped, everything deteriorated. So he was desperate. And he went, of course, to whom? To his friend Bana, and he complained to him. And again, Bana gave him some good demoniac advice. He told him, you have to do some tapasya, but don't worship Lord Vishnu, because although he's your father, he's actually not your friend. He's on the side of Indra and the demigods. So either you worship Lord Brahma or you worship Lord Shiva. Narakasura, he chose to worship Lord Brahma. He went to the nearby Brahmachala hill, and for 100 years he did tapasya, drinking only water. So at one point, Lord Brahma appeared and asked him for blessings. And what did Narakasura ask for? He asked that he cannot be defeated by any devatas, rakshasas, or other powerful beings. He forgot to ask not to be defeated by humans. And he also asked for unlimited opulence of Indra, and he also asked for unlimited beautiful ladies of heaven to enjoy. But being covered by Maya, he forgot to ask for curse of Vasishta Muni to be removed. And of course, he got, by blessings of Brahma, he got all these opulences. And on advice of his friend Bana, he went to Svarga to test whether the blessing is working. And he conquered Indra very easily. He stole the earrings of Mother Aditi, the mother of the demigods, Varuna's umbrella, and he stole unlimited treasure of the demigods. And then on earth he kidnapped 16,100 ladies that were all actually demigoddesses from Svarga that were born. At that time, he gathered many demons like Mura and others in his city to protect his city. And the Mother Earth, who was his mother, but she was not any more favorably disposed towards him, she prayed together with all the demigods on the shore of the Milk Ocean to Lord Vishnu for removal. And then Lord gave the blessings that he will remove this burden. He himself will incarnate, and he told all demigods to incarnate in order to fight the demons and to remove the burden. And we know how it happened. Krishna with his queen Satyabhama on a back of Garuda, he killed Narakasura. Satyabhama, actually Prithvi is the expansion of Satyabhama. So Satyabhama gave permission to kill Naraka. And this is how he ended up his life. So this is to illustrate the danger of bad association. First instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Asat Sangha Tyaga. Even in pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we hear of Lord Chaitanya taking Brahmana Krishnadas to South India, and how this Krishnadas was allured by some gypsies called Bhataharis who had some women there. They allured him by these women. So during the night, he left Lord Chaitanya and went to these Bhataharis to have association of these Bhatahari women. And Lord Chaitanya, when he noticed that he was missing, he came to the camp of Bhataharis and asked them, "Why did you take my assistant? This is not very nice." But they all attacked him with the weapons and wanted to kill him, but all the weapons turned and pierced their bodies, and they all fled. And then the Lord grabbed Krishnadas by hair and pulled him back. So he kept him during the tour, still with him. But when they came back to Puri, he told other devotees, "Just tell him to leave. I don't want to see him anymore because he left me." Of course, devotees were merciful, so by their arrangement, they engaged him to carry the prasada and message to Mother Shachi, to Nadia. And then we have also another example of Chota Haridas, which was against Sri Sangha again, some bad association. So this is the warning that we should avoid. And on the contrary, what should we cultivate? It's a good association. It's a sadhu sangha. As we know, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koi, lava matra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. So even the moment of association with saintly devotees cannot be compared to anything else in this world, cannot be compared to any opulence, cannot be compared to even liberation. And Jiva Goswami, he comments interestingly that Bhagavat Sangi Sangha means association with the persons who are attached to the Lord. Sangha means attachment, and he who constantly has the attachment to the Lord is called Sangi. Even a moment's association with such a person cannot be compared to attaining the heavenly planets. And then in the first canto of Bhagavatam, we have a verse, Asvado rasika saha sajati ashaya snigde sadav sangha svato vare. One should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the association of pure devotees, one should associate with the devotees who are more advanced than oneself and who are endowed with a similar type of affection for the Lord. So, Sajatya, devotees that we want to associate with should be Sajatya, means on the same path that we are. They have the same goal, the same worshipable deity, the same Ishta Devata. Sometimes, some devotees, they like Lord Nrsimhadev, some devotees worship Lord Ramachandra. But if these are not our worshipable deities, we should find those devotees who have the same goal, who worship Krishna in Vrindavan, for example, if Krishna in Vrindavan is our goal, as the Gaudiya Vaishnavas have Krishna in Vrindavan, with Radha also. So they should be also affectionate, snigdha, and preferably more advanced than ourselves, then we can get a benefit. But even if they are on the equal level, it's still desirable association. If they are Sajatiya, if they are in the same line. So these are some thoughts on dangers of bad association and sadhu sangha, good association. I'll stop here. There are just a few more minutes if you have any comments. Yes, yes, Prabhu. Is there a mic there somewhere? I think it's there next to that thing. Yeah.
Wow, Prabhu, that was a beautiful inside scoop on the pastime of Narakasura. I'm thoroughly just blown away by all those details that I'd never heard before about Narakasura. I said that was a beautiful inside scoop on the pastime of Narakasura. I am blown away. I've never heard any of those details. And just want to thank you for that. And if you can just repeat what the sources were for that, so that I can perhaps speak that to people when I'm telling this pastime.
So this pastime you can find in Kalika Purana, which is minor Upa Purana. I found there is actually English translation, although very old, archaic English, but you can get it from there. And Jiva Goswami is referencing this Kalika Purana in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Otherwise, I wouldn't know whether to trust that Purana or not. But because Jiva Goswami is referencing it, you can trust that the story there described is bona fide. So Kalika Purana, Upa Purana, you can search it. I think Internet Archive has English translation of that Purana. There are many stories actually. That this is just one story in that Purana.
And what did you say the English translation was?
Kalika Purana English translation of that Purana is available. If you search in Google, I'm sure you'll find it.
Thank you, Prabhu. And just it's an interesting point that even though Narakasura was the son of Lord Vishnu, he was still, killed by Krishna. Even though he was the son of Krishna, he was killed by Krishna due to bad association. So that's something to say for all of us. That Krishna, he's always going to uphold Dharma, even if it's his own family.
Yeah, this is an illustration of Krishna's impartiality, his Sama quality, that he's equal. He just takes into account one's actions and qualities, not whether he's his son or not the son. The body relationships are not so important, even for the Lord. Then we should also follow the same example. Okay, Rameshwar Prabhu has something?
Thank you. It's very hard to put all this information that you spoke on today into my tiny mind. It's very encyclopedic class that you gave. But on the texts and purports, I had a comment and then I had a question. The comment was, Prabhupada writes, well, I don't have my glasses on, but he says, from the body of Lord Varaha, from just one whole hole of a hair, all the oceans of the earth, all the oceans fit into that, which just creates an impression of how large Varaha must be. That just a hair hole, and all the oceans are inside that. So that was in the purport. I found that amazing. And the other thing I was commenting on is that we know Swayambhuva Manu, 300-something million years is his duration of life, which no one can even comprehend. And he has given the humanity for all that time the Manu Samhita as the law books. But then within this 300 million years, or just any Manu's 300 million years, there's a 10,000 year period where Prabhupada's books are the law books. So that is like 1% of their lifetime, but it's just very significant to me that out of 300 million years of Manu Samhita, there's 10,000 years where the law books for humanity are Prabhupada's books. So those are my comments. And then my question is something you said very early. You said that in the first appearance of Varaha, the cause of the earth falling into the Garbhodak ocean was some kind of a curse, and I didn't quite follow. Could you clarify that for us? Because this is before there was a Hiranyaksha.
Yeah, it was a curse.
Thank you.
Curse of Agastya Muni. He cursed Swambhu Manu. Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita is explaining that, but he doesn't give the background story, why he cursed him, for what reason. He says, he's just quoting Vishnu Dharmotara Purana, where it's explained that Swambhu Manu was cursed. And due to that curse of Agastya Muni, the Bhumandala sank at the bottom. And then in the second appearance of Varahadev, because the Swambhu Manu is the ruler of the earth. So the curse, if you curse him, that he will lose his kingdom, he will lose the earth. So he lost his kingdom. The Mother Earth disappeared under the water, and that was a curse on him. No, Vishnu Dharmotara Purana, quoted by Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Yeah, Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrita is quoting Vishnu Dharmotara Upapurana. Yeah, Vishnu Dharmotara. There are many details, but it's a technical details. We want to take the essence. I think Prabhu, somebody else had? Prabhu had a question before we finish. This is just one more minute.
Thank you, Prabhu. I have one question. So in the beginning you said, and we know that Lord Varahadev, he lifted the whole Bhumandala. But the rest part of the story, so it seems the birth of Narakasura, etc., it seems like it's related to Earth planet only. So how to reconcile it?
I don't know how you came to that conclusion. It's related to Earth planet, but it's clear from all the Puranas, even from the Bhagavatam itself, it was Bhumandala who fell in the Garbhodaka ocean. Otherwise, our present planet Earth is just a tiny speck of that Bhumandala, and doesn't make much logical sense, at least to me, that that only that planet Earth fell. Yeah.
So Jagadatri, Bhudevi, all these different names are the names of Bhumandala?
Yeah, Bhumandala. It's Bhumandala. So Mother Prithvi is a personified deity of Bhumandala. This is the greater Earth. So Bharatavarsha, sometimes our planet, present planet is called Bharatavarsha. Sometimes only India is called Bharatavarsha. So in different contexts, different names are used. But original Puranic name of Earth is Bhumandala.
And Narakasura is the son of Bhumandala.
Yeah, he's the son of personified Mother Earth, Prithvi Devi. She's the personified goddess of the whole Bhumandala. And we are included in that. So, so when we stand on this earth, she's a personified goddess of the earth. And we should also, she's a goddess. And she doesn't like to be burdened by adharmic people. So she likes devotees.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Prabhu had the last one.
Actually, our planet, our specific planet, is only a small part of even the Bharatvarsha. It's called Bharatkand.
Bharatkanda, yes.
And so our planet's even just a small part of the larger Bharatvarsha.
Of the Jambudvip, and then Jambudvip is just one island of Bhumandala. So it's a very, very small, tiny part. Thank you all very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.